morning, good morning. Right now it is 7:33 a.m. January 10th, Wednesday morning. And right now I'm getting ready for my eye appointment. If you guys don't know, I have an eye disease called keratoconus, which affects my sight tremendously. And it just makes me not able to see from afar, from close up. I cannot see out of my left eye. I cannot see at all. My right eye is fine, but I cannot see out of my left eye. So right now I'm about to go to my eye appointment, and I'll bring you guys with me. You're going to see the process that I'm going to go through and whatever they're going to tell me, if I need contacts or surgery or whatever. So just stay tuned for the next clip. And right now I'm leaving the eye clinic because we thought the appointment was for 8 o'clock, but it's at 8:40. I mean 9:40, and it's 8:11 right now. So we on the way back home. Oh my God! Now we have to wait a whole another 30 minutes?
An hour.
Or an hour?
An hour and like 30 minutes.
Like an hour and 30 minutes. I could have still been in my bed for this. I could have still been in my bed.
Doing what? You were sleeping.
Well, I was on the phone. I was on the phone.
Exactly. I've been hearing you chitter chatter all morning. I'm trying to sleep and I'm here. Okay.
Well, I woke up I went to bed at 8:30 p.m. last night, and I woke up at 3:30 in the morning because my sleep schedule was messed up. But I'll check back in when I get back to the eye clinic. I am here. I'm whispering because I don't want to hear me, but I'm here.
Okay, you can sit back. So basically, right eye's okay. Left eye, there's no way we're going to get you in a lens that'll work. So basically, your only option becomes a surgical, which is a transplant.
Right.
The success rate for the transplant in situations like this is actually very good. This is probably, success rate of up to 90-something%. So that's pretty good odds. The way it works is that we take you to the hospital, put you to sleep, and we looks almost like a cookie cutter, and we remove the diseased cornea. It's about a 7 to 8 millimeter circle. Take that off. We take a cornea from the eye bank from a donor and do the same thing, cookie cutter it out, put it on your eye, and we suture it into place with sutures that's about the size of a human hair.
Oh.
And that stays there. After the surgery, you'll have to be on drops probably for the rest of your life of some sort. Even patients who had a transplant who are 5-10 years out, sometimes I'll have them use Predmild once a week. It's kind of an insurance policy against rejection. Rejection rate is exceedingly low in this situation. You don't have to tissue match like a kidney or whatever, because you don't have to match the tissue like if you're going to get a kidney or a heart or something.
Right.
So overall, the success rate's pretty good. Once we do the transplant, your vision, like I tell a lot of patients, your vision is going to be what it is for about a year.
Okay.
The vision may or may not be really, really bad or really, really good. That's the crapshoot. While the suture is still in place, there's a stitch that runs all the way around it. Usually, we take the stitch out between 10 to 12 months. Okay. And then that's when we can talk about your vision improving, because as long as the stitch is in there, you really can't. I mean, we can do glasses or whatever, but you really can't wear a contact or anything like that while the stitch is still in there.
Oh.
So at about a year, when we take the stitch out, that's when we usually talk about maybe options in the real world include PRK, AKs, relaxing incisions and stuff like that. But that's usually when we talk about, then maybe we can fit you with a new lens or glasses or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, that should be. There I am. Hello. Hi. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm Dr. Vincent.
I am Tony Hermel.
Okay. Well, we were just talking about the left eye.
Okay.
And right eye's fine. The chances is that you will have, there's a cone there, but it's not nearly as bad. It may stay about like it is now for the rest of your life. It may worsen a little bit.
Okay.
But it's very common to see this kind of asymmetry. The left eye, though, there's no way we're going to be able to fit another lens on that cone. That cone is way out there. And the cornea is thin also, so that's not good. So we were talking about...
So did it get worse, sir?
It can. What can happen
It hasn't got
is...
worse compared to when we saw you last.
Well, what can happen is a lot of times with that cone, as it protrudes more and more, there's a little membrane there that can break underneath. It's not like your eye's going to bust open or anything, but fluid can get into there and it can cause the cornea to turn real white. And that's when the problems really start.
Okay.
So you want to kind of get to it before it gets to that point. So it's not to that point yet, but it's beyond the point of being where a lens could comfortably sit on that cornea and work.
Okay.
And there's also a little bit of scarring there from the cone itself.
Okay.
So the transplant right now is really the main option. Now, if you don't do anything at all, no problem. It's not like you have to do a transplant or else your eye's going to fall out of your head or something like that. This just, at this point, the options are do nothing or do a transplant. And like I was telling her, the transplant is pretty straightforward. We put her to sleep. We get the cornea from a donor from the eye bank, and replace the cone cornea from her and put a new cornea on there and sew it into place. The suture is about the size of your hair. It's very small, and it stays in there for about a year. The success rate is very good for this situation. A young person with keratoconus, that's the highest success rate we have for a transplant. It probably approaches 90 to 95%. So, but as far as when, anytime. Sometimes people are in school and they don't want to do it during school. Fine, do it in the summer or whatever. There's no right or wrong time, no right or wrong answer. So.
I mean, I would like to have my vision in both eyes.
Yeah. I mean, because she wants to drive and stuff and do other things.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah, it would be tough. It would be tough to get that left eye to where you could get any sort of usable vision to get even close to driver's license vision. But luckily, at the driver's license place, all you need is one good eye. Right. Although they will put a restriction.
But I mean, with the thing with the cornea and stuff, if she rejects it or something, what the possibilities are.
The worst case scenario, so let's talk worst case scenarios. The worst case scenario is that something happens during the surgery and you bleed inside your eye and then it's game over. That happens about 1 out of 100,000. Exceedingly, exceedingly rare. And has it happened to me? Yes. But again, it's super, super rare, especially in young people. The next worst that could happen is you get an infection inside your eye. That's about 1 in 40,000. If it's an organism that's really bad and, that can really damage your eye, again, super rare, super rare. The next thing that could happen is the graft could reject. That happens probably 1 out of 1,000. And usually if it rejects, graft rejection can occur at any time, from 1 day to 1 year to 10 years. You never can predict it. You have to be on drops to prevent it. But again, rejection in this situation is probably 1 out of 1,000, given over the life of the graft, which is pretty good odds. It's still far less than 1%. If that does happen, if we see rejection, we usually treat it aggressively with anti-inflammatory drops, and that takes care of probably, out of every rejection that I see in that situation, it takes care of 80% of them. Of the 20% of those rejections that go on to fully reject, the graft gets cloudy and gets full of fluid and gets whatever. The procedure of choice then is not to replace the full graft. It's only to replace the back surface of it. And that usually is curative. That usually fixes the problem. So that's going through your worst case scenarios.
Does it change anything, the color of her eye?
Not at all. Not at all.
What else do you want to say?
there's nothing else.
You sure?
There's no other option, like, besides surgery.
Not really, not at this point, no.
Because we had saw something we were researching about a doctor doing like a ring thing.
Oh, Intacs?
Yeah.
Intacs would improve the overall curvature a little bit in this situation, but you still, there's no way, even with the Intact segments in there, there's no way that you'd still need glasses or a hard lens after that, and I can guarantee you, even with Intact segments, a hard lens would not fit on that cornea just because of the size and the shape of that cone. So, Intact segments, like if your right eye, for example, if it started getting a little worse, Intact segments for the right eye would be great because your cone is mild. Mild to moderate. The cone in the left is severe, and so Intact segments is really not indicated for that. Collagen cross-linking, same thing. So, what I would say is think about it, talk about it with everybody. Let's bring you back in like maybe 4 to 6 weeks. There's no hurry, and that way, you know, if you still want to wait on it, great. There's no hurry.
Okay.
And if you're ready to do it, we can set it up. You know, as far as getting the tissue, that's easy. All we do is just put in a request to the eye bank. We get most of our corneas from New Orleans, so that's easy. And then for the surgery part, then it's as easy as just setting it up.
Okay.
So you don't have any other side effects from it, or?
Well, just like any surgery, I mean, there's always
Yeah.
risks, you know. For the anesthesia part of it, there's risks with any anesthesia going to sleep. You know, again, death, etc. That's, you know, probably 1 out of every 250,000 people who have a surgery like this who go to sleep will die. That's, again, it's a known risk, but it's pretty good odds. You know, of course, if you're that one, then that's never good. I can tell you this is low risk. The surgery usually takes me about a half hour, so it doesn't take very long. So,
And also being younger and healthier
oh yeah,
puts you in the better.
Your risk
category.
is as low as it gets. So, you know.
So the right eye, with that being said, that it's where at the stage it's at, would she benefit from a contact now for it, or?
Even glasses. I mean,
Glasses?
her cone is
Yeah,
just
her
not
vision's
bad.
20/25,
Yeah, I mean,
so.
not bad. I guarantee you, though, with a little cylindrical correction, she would see a little sharper. So, I would not recommend a contact for the right eye because essentially right now she has one good eye, and if she got an infection or anything, I would do polycarb, and I would manifest her because I guarantee you she would see a little better even with like a half or a 3/4 diopter cylindrical correction in that eye. You'll see sometimes young people will accommodate over their cylindrical correction, and so you have to kind of ease them into it. But I guarantee you if you hit her with like -0.5 +0.5, if her uncorrected is 20/25, like -0.5 +0.5 at whatever her axis is, she'll like it a little better. Especially like at night. I'm guessing that night driving is awful. So,
She doesn't drive at all.
exactly.
Because I can't even see the signs at night.
There you
I
go.
can't even.
I am the driver.
I got you. All right, so
No,
let's
you wouldn't let her on the road. My niece has it in both eyes, and she drives.
let's see you back in about 4 to 6 weeks,
Okay.
and that way you give you time to think about it. Any questions you have, feel free to call us or come see us. You know, whatever the case may be, and then we can get it all set up for you or wait, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
All right.
Research.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, nice
You
meeting
too.
you.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So the cornea specialist has spoken. Like I said, you know, that's why I wanted you to come and see him. Like, you know, he's the
Yeah.
expert on it. He's managed this. He's done this for about 20 years now. So
No.
that's
I guess just basically, I mean, it's still, you know, a concern and
no.
stuff.
And like I said, that's why he's not pushing you to
Right,
it. That's why he's
I
saying, you know, if you
understand.
want to do it, we can do it.
Yeah.
But you know,
I've never had surgery before.
yeah, no, and so, you know, that's why we're not pushing you for it. We just wanted to let you know that in terms of what we can do for the left eye,
Right.
you know,
Yeah, and
it
I
seems
guess
like the
that's I
transplant
guess
is not.
my worry is if she rejects it.
Right, and you know, the good thing, and like he was saying, is that the cornea is what we call an avascular tissue. It doesn't have blood vessels going into it. And so that's very helpful because that means that the immune cells are not as present there. They can certainly get there if you have an infection or things like that, but generally speaking, they're not constantly passing through there.
Okay.
Because if you had blood vessels in there, it would cloud it up and you couldn't see. So that's one thing that's nice about corneal tissue, and that makes it less apt to reject.
Right.
And also, if you do start to, we can manage it with drops. And so you just have to change, you add some more drops to it, you get it back under control. And usually you can stop the process and, there's no issue whenever that does come up. And most patients don't experience rejection, but those that do, we can, like you said, about 80% of the time we can control it with just the drops as well. So, like I said, it is a risk. It does happen, but once again, the rejection side of it is more about it makes it cloudy. It can cloud the graft. That's like the big thing. It doesn't tend to cause like super pain. It's not super painful, those kind of things. It's more just the graft itself gets cloudy, and so you can't see through it as well.
Right.
So that's the big thing that happens with rejection.
So the right eye would, he talked about glasses probably?
Well, what he was saying with that is that, despite her vision being fairly good in the right eye, actually, 20/25, so almost at the 20/20 line, he was saying she has very mild astigmatism in that eye, which, so in the left eye you have very severe astigmatism because your cornea is like this and it has like this big thing like that. So that's astigmatism you can't correct really with anything, because it's, like I said, a contact, there's not a contact that has that kind of like curvature that'll stay on there and be comfortable to wear. But on the right eye, like you said, you have a very small cone, so it's causing very mild astigmatism. So what he was saying is that, like, if we gave you a little bit of correction, like a little bit of astigmatic correction, he thought it might help a little bit, particularly with night. Not so much the daytime, because your vision's not too bad with the daytime, but maybe a little bit at night. And so if you want to, I can just see if you see a little better with that today, or when you come back the next time, we can do it then, whatever you want to do.
What does she have to do?
I would just move you over to another room and put the little, this little thing here can kind of simulate glasses. It's called a 4-opter. Just put that in front, put up the eye chart, and just play with it a little bit, see what you like, and then
she gets a script for the eyes.
For the glasses, yes.
Glasses, and she can get them anywhere? Or?
Any optical shop, and you can even get them online. So I get mine online because it's cheaper. I get them from a place that's called Zenni Optical. They just happen to be a little more affordable because the frames actually are very cheap online. That's the big thing, because people pay for like name brand frames and they'll drop hundreds of dollars.
Right.
But for just these glasses here, I think I spent about $70, and the frames were like $25. The lenses were like $50. So as low as cost, and you can get frames as low as like $5 on there. So that's one thing. Obviously, one thing he did mention is he would like for the lens to be polycarbonate. The reason for that is it's shatterproof. It's very protective for over the right eye, because once again, you have one eye that sees well. We want to protect that eye. If you're wearing glasses, we want to make sure you're wearing shatterproof lens in that glass, on that side.
That's true.
So that was what he was talking about, just to kind of expand upon it a little bit. So like I said, if you want to, I can go over and do it right now.
You want to do it now?
It doesn't matter.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dial in kind of what he was talking about here. Are you able to read those at all?
No.
No. What about there?
No.
Okay. I'm going to twist this dial around.
Okay.
Tell me when to stop. Tell me when it's the best, okay?
Okay.
And let me actually include this other eye. So you shouldn't be seeing out of that eye, right? Left eye only, the right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just going to go around this slowly. Let me know when it clears up. Getting a little clearer? Let me go back just a little bit and see. just let me know whenever it starts.
It's clear.
It's clear now? Okay.
Yes.
Any better here?
Yes.
Okay. Actually, here's something to do. Give me your right hand. Right? So I'm just going to bring it up here. You're going to feel a knob here. Don't twist the outside, just the inside. So, right. So you feel the outside knob here. There's actually a knob.
The outside knob.
Yeah. Go back a little further on it there. No.
To this one?
No. Further behind. Like there's. You feel this little ring.
Yes.
Grab that. Just work it around. Just twist it in a circle, and see which way it clears it up for you. This is surprisingly one of the best ways to figure out what you like the best.
Yeah.
Probably like it more right in that area, don't you?
Yeah, it's more clear on this part.
Yeah. Is it any better there? Or more so like right
Yes, right here.
Right there, okay. Are you able to read that now?
So I can keep going in and out of focus.
In and out?
Yes.
Okay. Any better there?
Not really.
Okay.
I could just read the first letter.
So as you guys seen in the clips before, I went to my second eye doctor's appointment, and as the doctor said, and as you guys heard, I most likely will be needing a cornea replacement. So I have a eye disease called keratoconus. If you guys didn't hear in the clips before, keratoconus affects your vision tremendously. You can say you're partially blind because in my left eye I cannot see anything. It's like very hard for me to read things. From close up I cannot see anything. From far away I cannot see anything. So it's like it's basically blind in my left eye. And in my right eye I have astigmatism. Now I can see in my right eye, but my left eye, my vision is blurry and I cannot see. So for my right eye, I will need glasses. So I will have to, go back to the eye doctor in 4 to 6 weeks, and they told me to go back in 4 to 6 weeks and let them know whether or not I want to do my surgery right now. If I want to wait like a couple of months or a year from now, like I can do my surgery anytime. And they basically want me to have, the cornea replacement, which, I have to have someone else's cornea in my eye. And in the past, I've had the glass contact lens, and that didn't work out because my cornea is just, it has like expanded. A regular cornea is just like about, I want to say, this is a regular cornea right here. And my cornea is just like this, but it's curved. It curves a little bit and it just, opens wider than a normal cornea is supposed to. And the doctor was just telling me, the last few clips that you guys watched, he was just basically telling me that, you have to have this surgery in order for it to be like, a permanent thing, so you can, finally see again in your left eye. He said the surgery will take about, an hour. I think he said like an hour, I think. And you guys, like, I am just, I've been staying prayed up about this, and I've just been seeking God for all my answers, because it's just like, I don't want to have this surgery, but I'm like, God, if this surgery needs to happen, then let it happen. But if not, I've been speaking like over myself, like I am healed, my vision is healed, I can see. I've been telling myself that every day because I want to see again, And if surgery will make it better, and if God says the same, then I'm gonna go and get the surgery. But yeah, guys, just wanted to kind of fill you guys in on how I'm feeling at the moment, and how this will change my life tremendously. I will be able to see, and I will just be able to, you know, do things that I wouldn't have been able to do like last year. And like right now, I cannot work and I can't drive because my vision is like horrible. So if you guys like this video, please just hit the likes button thumbs up button. And if you guys know someone who is going through this or have experienced this, if you know someone who has had the surgery already, like what is the recovery process? How does it long it take to recover? Like what do you have to do? And you know, share this video and get it out there, because not that many people in the world have the keratoconus disease. I mean, from what I know, I mean, I've never heard about anyone else having the disease. I know in my family I had the disease, and my cousin has the disease in both eyes as well, in both of her eyes. So I mean, I can only imagine what she feels like. So if you guys like this video, just give it a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe to my channel and comment just to let me know what do you think about this video, and continue to just keep praying for me, and just keep me in your prayers, because this is a big step for me. I've never had surgery before. I've never been underneath any kind of medicine to have surgery before. So guys, just keep me in your prayers, and yeah, continue to watch my videos, show me love, share this video, share my vlogs, go watch my vlogs, and stay tuned for more exciting videos.